Lawrence here. You know what? This is not about fiction right here. This is not about fiction. This is about real problems. Like, the one thing I truly hate, but don't get offended. Don't get offended. I really hate when, like, the major of people who are suffered in the past, like, for example, a black person, they say their ancestor as excuse. Say, "Oh, my ancestor's been whipped. My ancestor been." We know slavery was a tough role for your ancestor. You can't. You shouldn't use it as an excuse. Like, that's one I really hate. And I hate when black people always point out how bad white people is, but but there's few people who are black in the past were awful. Like, not that many, but there were awful people who are black back in the days. Not just white people. You know, like Martin Luther King Jr. was a great black person. I respect him. I never seen Martin Luther King Jr. use the whole slavery as an excuse. He used it as, like, inspiration. This is actually, they still treat him like slavery in his time, and like he was trying to find a dream peacefully. But there's actually a black person who is like me, Martin Luther King Jr. I forget what his name, who is literally solved with violence. Martin King Jr. was solved with non-violence. Like, I know that sound like I'm shitting on freaking black people, but I'm not. I'm saying there's actually bad black people, not just white people. A race could be bad. Oh, heck, for example, like a freaking Japan. Sure, they bomb Pearl Harbor, but we send the nuclear bomb on their asses. I bet there's a lot of black people who were in the military. Wait a minute. Is that time a black person can enter the military? When they can enter the military? Because I know back then they can't, but nowadays they can. There's nothing wrong. God, it sounds like I'm completely racist. I'm not. I'm trying to put my statement out here, alright? I'm just putting my statement out here. I hate when other races, especially black people, who use their whole ancestor as excuse and tell black people can't be racist, they can be prejudiced. Like, I hate when people say, "Oh, you won't understand, or you're not black like us." Dude, slavery is not about racial anymore. Like, maybe it is about a little bit racial, but come on, you have more free will now these days. If people try and control you because your skin color, because they think they're superior than you have a right to sue them, because that's a hate crime. But like now these days, I believe now these days, slavery is not about racial anymore, in my opinion. Look, we got human trafficking, and the human trafficking doesn't really care if you're black, white, little kid, or cripple, or whatever. It's just a matter of time. People, it's just calm down, Dawson. It's just people will exploit you any type of way. They will exploit you even if you're black, white, Asian, anything. Even a black person could disadvantage on a white person. Say, oh, like your friend. If you give friend like a watermelon, not really trying to call him like trying to come out that stereotype. Like even if you give a black person a watermelon, there's gonna be some black person like say, oh, because I'm black, I like watermelon. Like you gave a watermelon. Because maybe not because maybe you try and be nice to him, like in your eyes, like it's just a watermelon, but in their eyes, it's just a racial stereotype. Like, I know not all black people like fried chicken, Kool-Aid, and packing heat or anything like that. Like, it's just one of those it's just one of those thing people try and find excuses or try and make you look like you're racist, but you're not. I'm not saying all black people are like this. I'm saying like some black people. Damn, I'm really trying not to make myself racist. I'm really trying. I try to be careful what I say. I'm saying right here, I really hate when they use the whole slavery as an excuse. I hate they really pushing us white people as like we think is superior than them. I'm not gonna say all white people doesn't think like that, but there's few white people think of that. Of course, we start a whole I'm a superior race bullshit. But I'm saying right here, we start to ease out. There's not that much white racists. Well, there's a lot of racists, but there's gonna be a few people who aren't. I'm saying, like, I hate when they use that excuse. They the whole slavery. You like, even if your close friend who's black is okay, you say the N-word. Like, there's going to be a lot of black people take that offended. Even if you say it as a joke, even say as, like, not really serious. Like, there's going to be... It's of course, it makes sense because it's a racial slur. But, come on, it's like if a black person can say it, a white person should say it because it's give you a mixed message. You're okay with that word, but we can't say it, but they can. It's like you should not use that word at all if you don't feel comfortable a white person say that word. Like, especially, let's say I have a black friend. Let's say he's okay. He's saying N-word. And okay, he's okay, I'm saying the N-word as well, and I'm not racist. But it's like this, like if he used the N-word and when I say it, my friend beat me up. That just doesn't make any sense. They should like literally not say that word at all. But when a white person make a black joke, but a white person can't. I mean, the black person can make a black joke, but the white person can't. It makes sense because it's racist. But I stay up comedian can actually make racist joke and everybody laugh. They know it's just a joke. But when it's some stranger you know it's a joke or not. But still, like I think you should ask the person whether they're joking or not. Like, you never know. It's one of those confusing things to talk about because I'm not trying to shit all about black people, but a few black people who use the whole slavery as an excuse. They take the offended of racist joke, and then one of those persons you can't say the N-word, but they can. That just doesn't make any sense to me because if you're not okay a white person saying say that word, only you can say it. It shouldn't be used at all. And also, like, I don't really like a black person thinking, like, oh, we can't be racist, but we can be prejudiced. Dude, you can be racist even if you're black or white or Asian or whatever. Doesn't really matter what race. You still can be racist. If it was a reverse, a white person was a slave, then a black person wasn't, back in the old days, oh hell, a black person would do the same thing back in the old days. But still, like, I bet there's a lot of black people who really want white people as slaves. It's regardless, it doesn't matter. There's gonna be white people who are gonna control black people either way, and those white people are wrong in the wrong. But did I say black people or white people? I'm saying there's gonna be white people who controls the black people and they're in the wrong, but there's gonna be a black people who also control the white people. It doesn't matter what race you are. That's one thing I really hate. Like there's gonna be it's gonna be like this. It's like when a white person say an N-word, a bunch of black people go and jump up, and when a black person say to another black person, they're okay with it. And I'm not okay with that word. But if you don't say it and not expect a white person to say as well, don't say that we're all. Don't get offended and just walk away from the person. There's so many things that really tick me off almost about all races. Especially like the Asian, like they get like all tense when you call them like you one smart Asian. If that was a stereotype towards white people, sign me up. I would take that stereotype as a compliment than like an fearing stereotype. It's really complicated talking about racism because there's a ton about whites, black, Asian. There's a lot of stereotypes, and the one thing I really hate, I just already say this, it's not because they're black. I just hate when they saying, "Oh, I've been suffering through. My ancestors have been suffering through," and like, dude, we all suffer, even if this modern age. And you use this excuse like, "Oh, because I'm black, you put in the Lord ground on me. You're racist. You don't care about us." Dude, everybody's suffering. Don't use those bullshit as excuse. Even your ancestor excuse to make it look more bad. The lesson learned is if you have any people who are like that, like say my ancestors have been suffering and all that, to use the excuse, just walk away from them. And people, racism is not a joke. And don't use the N-word at all. And if a black person is saying N-word, don't say an N-word to prove your point. Either way, they're going to jump you. Or walk away from you. I don't know. It's very confusing to try and talk about this. There are probably a lot of people going to be in comments that say this guy's racist. I'm not racist. I'm just trying to put my statement. There's so many bull crap where like there's also like you can't even use the word slave like in anime that much. Like we gotta think you can't even put a black person in anime as slave without people getting offended. What if that actually based on the slavery word in the past? Huh? We all have different point of view. I'm just saying I just hate people in general who use their ancestor as an excuse. They use their suffer as an excuse. They use the whole racism as an excuse. They use the whole like I'm prejudiced, I can't be racist as an excuse. That's what I'm trying to say.